Vietnam is about to do something few countries even attempt. It will build a rail line that rewrites the map and an airport that shifts the region's center of gravity, but the real impact is not just faster journeys or a bigger gateway. It is what happens when these two move together, creating a national system with consequences most people have not yet considered. To see why this changes everything, you need to understand what comes next. Stretching over 1,500 kilometers from Hanoi in the north to Ho Chi Minh City in the south, Vietnam's high-speed railway is a project defined by its sheer magnitude. The route will cross 20 provinces, weaving together regions that once felt separated by days of slow rail or winding road, an act of national integration more than a simple speed upgrade. Engineers have planned a double-track alignment built for speeds approaching 300 kilometers per hour, fast enough to turn journeys that once took more than a day into trips measured in hours. The design calls for 23 passenger stations and 5 dedicated freight stops, each acting as a new node in the country's economic network. The technical ambition is matched by financial scale. Estimates place the total investment between 58 and 67 billion US dollars. To manage this, the project will unfold in phases over several decades, with initial groundwork and pilot segments scheduled to begin in the late 2020s. This channel focuses on why moves like this matter, long before their impact becomes obvious. Behind every milestone, teams of planners and engineers weigh the challenges of land clearance, climate, and cost, keeping a steady focus on long-term delivery and practical challenges. The Thanh Long Project Management Board oversees progress, coordinating between ministries and contractors as the legal framework comes into place. The railway's backbone, its dual tracks and phased construction, reflects a national decision to invest in a future that will only reveal its full meaning as the system comes online, one section at a time. For travelers, the difference is measured not just in kilometers, but in hours reclaimed from the calendar. A journey between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City that once meant a cramped overnight train or a day lost on winding highways now becomes a same-day trip. Early departures from the capital can reach the south before evening, making business meetings, family visits, and even spontaneous travel possible on a scale that was unthinkable before. For companies, this predictability is more valuable than raw speed. Reliable schedules mean supply chains tighten, goods arrive on time, and labor markets stretch across the entire length of the country. Factories in Da Nang can recruit from Hue, while tech firms in Ho Chi Minh City can tap talent from the north without asking employees to uproot their lives. The railway's precision, with trains running at set intervals and immune to weather delays that plague roads and airports, brings a new kind of certainty to planning. Farmers, manufacturers, and exporters all gain access to a broader market, shrinking the country's economic distances. These effects ripple outward as every hour saved multiplies across millions of people and thousands of businesses. Yet, even as the tracks promise to redraw the map of opportunity, a question lingers. How will all this compressed time and movement connect with the world beyond Vietnam's borders? Long Thành International Airport rises from open land in Dong Nai Province, 40 kilometers east of Ho Chi Minh City's crowded center. The choice of this site was never just about finding space for runways and terminals. Here, the planners sought a location with room to grow, an area where future expansions could unfold without the limits imposed by dense urban surroundings. The airport's first phase is designed for 25 million passengers a year, but the master plan stretches far beyond that, with the capacity to scale up to 100 million as Vietnam's role in regional travel grows. This ambition comes with a human cost, measured not only in concrete and steel, but in the daily lives of thousands. More than 5,000 farming families have left land. Their ancestors worked for generations. Compensation packages range from 200 million dong per hectare to 500 million dong per hectare, yet many found the transition difficult, trading orchards and rice paddies for new apartments or jobs in unfamiliar towns. Some, like the Nguyen family, have stories that run deeper than any planning document. Parents who remember the sound of harvests, children who now navigate city streets instead of fields. The relocation process has been complex and at times contentious. Official records show protests and negotiations over lost livelihoods, as well as efforts by local authorities to provide retraining and support. And the urgency to clear land and meet construction deadlines has tested both government resolve and community patience. Yet for all the upheaval, the vision remains fixed on a future where Long Thành stands, as a national gateway, one that can handle the world's largest aircraft, connect seamlessly to the high-speed rail network, and serve as a launch point for Vietnam's next era of growth. Every decision about site and scale carries a human weight, reminding all involved that progress is never built on empty ground. In 2022, a quiet but consequential decision altered the blueprint for Vietnam's high-speed railway. Rather than ending the line in the heart of Ho Chi Minh City, planners and policymakers redirected the southern terminus toward the emerging airport precinct at Long Thành. The move carried little fanfare, but its logic was unmistakable to fuse two national-scale investments into a single, integrated system. Cabinet discussions were not public, but they focused on how a seamless transfer could unlock new mobility for the entire country. The goal was clear: to ensure that travelers moving between north and south could step off a train and reach international flights within 30 minutes or less. This adjustment required more than a line on a map. Engineers revisited platform layouts, signaling systems, and passenger flows. The new design called for a station that could handle both the speed of high-speed rail and the operational complexity of an international airport. Baggage handling, ticketing, and security needed to function across rail and air so that a journey from Hanoi to Paris might involve only a short walk between train and plane. The platform at Long Thành would not be a simple endpoint, but a transfer node built for efficiency and reliability. This policy shift set Vietnam apart from countries that treat rail and air as separate domains. By binding the two at the planning stage, the government positioned Long Thành not just as an airport for Ho Chi Minh City, but as a true national and regional gateway. The ripple effects extend far beyond convenience. With high-speed rail feeding directly into the airport, the map of Vietnam's mobility is redrawn. The country's largest cities, once separated by distance and time, are now connected to the world through a single, coordinated hub. This channel focuses on why moves like this matter long before their impact becomes obvious. Decisions made in meeting rooms and technical reviews quietly shape the future of how a nation moves and how it competes on the global stage. Slot management agencies in Vietnam's aviation sector are preparing for a fundamental change. As high-speed rail offers a 5-hour journey between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, demand for short-haul flights along this corridor is projected to drop by 40 to 60% over the next decade. Vietnam Airlines and Vietjet have already modeled scenarios where hundreds of weekly flights could be cut, freeing up thousands of valuable runway slots each year. These newly available slots do not sit idle. Instead, they become the foundation for new international routes, and for an airport to function as a national gateway that can support direct flights to London, Sydney, or Los Angeles that were previously constrained by airport capacity. Airline alliances and global carriers, watching these developments, see opportunity in a hub that can now support more long-haul connections and seamless transfers. For network planners, the shift is not just about fewer domestic flights, but about rearranging the entire pattern of movement across the region. Corporate site selectors now factor rail-air connectivity into every major investment map of Vietnam. The corridor between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, once dominated by the two largest cities, begins to draw attention from secondary hubs such as Da Nang, Nha Trang, and Vinh. These cities, newly reachable in a matter of hours, see growing clusters of logistics firms, tech offices, and export-oriented factories. Regional planners respond by rezoning land, expanding industrial parks, and upgrading local infrastructure to keep pace with this migration. Over time, the pattern is unmistakable. Businesses follow the certainty of fast, integrated transport, and people follow the jobs. New residential neighborhoods rise alongside stations, while universities and hospitals scale up to serve a more mobile population. Each decision compounds the last, quietly shifting economic gravity toward the connected corridor. This channel focuses on why moves like this matter long before their impact becomes obvious. Right now, Vietnam's decision to link high-speed rail with its new international gateway shifts the country from a stopover to a strategic crossroads. As global commerce realigns across Asia, nations with integrated systems set the tempo. In infrastructure, as in influence, connections decide who leads.